In late 2024, the world economy quietly entered one of the most dangerous phases since the 2008 crash, and most people didn't even notice it happening. It started with a sudden global liquidity freeze when major international banks began reporting unexplained short-term cash shortages, triggering panic among market regulators worldwide. Within days, oil prices swung violently, the U.S. bond market experienced its fastest yield spike in 40 years, European inflation unexpectedly surged, and China's manufacturing output dropped to a historic low. Countries across the world saw their stock markets falling like dominoes. At the same time, India found itself standing at a strange crossroads. The global storm was hitting hard, yet the Indian domestic economy was showing both strength and alarming weaknesses. Foreign investors began pulling out thousands of crores from Indian markets overnight. The rupee slipped dangerously close to its record low, and export-driven sectors like IT, pharma, and automotive started reporting massive delays in international payments. But the real shock came in January 2025, when a mysterious settlement blackout affected several global payment networks for almost 48 hours, causing Indian banks and fintech companies to temporarily freeze international transactions. For 2 full days, the world economy felt like it was hanging by a thread. Factories halted shipments, airlines reported unresolved fuel contracts, importers couldn't release goods at ports, and thousands of Indian companies faced the risk of mini-bankruptcies simply because money stopped moving across borders. Behind the scenes, Indian policymakers launched emergency meetings at midnight, trying to protect the country from what looked like the beginning of a worldwide financial breakdown. India activated special liquidity windows, pushed public banks to stabilize currency transactions, and quietly negotiated with foreign regulators to reopen settlement routes. Meanwhile, something unexpected happened. While major economies were sinking, India's digital economy, rural consumption, and domestic manufacturing started rising sharply, absorbing the external shock. By February 2025, India was being called the shock absorber of Asia because it managed to stay stable when the rest of the world was shaking. But the bigger mystery remained unsolved. How did a small payment glitch in global networks trigger a near collapse of the world economy? Why were multiple major countries suddenly reporting invisible cash shortages? And why was India unusually resilient this time? Economists believe that the world is entering a new era where economic collapses will not begin with stock markets, but with hidden faults inside digital financial pipelines that no one sees coming. The story of the 2024 to 2025 economic scare is not just a warning, it's a reminder that the next global crisis might not start with banks failing or markets crashing, but with something as small as a server glitch, a delayed settlement, or a digital bottleneck that freezes the flow of money for just a few hours. And in that fragile future, India might either become the most critical stabilizing force in the global economy, or the first domino that falls. Only time will tell.